I'm joined alongside Kyle Leslie, senior from the Northwest Mohawks. And Kyle, I talked with you at the start of the season. You said you were ready to shock some people. I know the season didn't go as you expected, but now you've got 2 straight wins. What's it like for you guys to get the 2 wins at the end of the season?
It just feels great. We're really setting up for next season. We're showing what it takes to be winning and get out there and just do the job. It just feels really good to get these 2 under our belt and continue on the next week.
And I think that really shows the selflessness from you, a senior, and you're looking forward to next year for some of your teammates. What do you think of the team heading into next year? What do you think they can do?
I think they can come out and show people they got some work to do, but they can definitely put it in. They're tight not to give up. They really want to be out there.
Big win against Green tonight. What's it mean to shut out a conference team like the Bobcats?
It feels great. We haven't had a shutout in a while, so that was one of our defensive goals. We really wanted to come out and just dominate on the defensive side, and I think we did that.
I was talking to Ted before the game, and he said that you were the X factor for Northwest. He gave you a lot of praise. What did you think of the way you played here tonight?
I think I did pretty good. I came inside, but I mean, really, we just had a dominant show from our D tackles. They just were in there causing havoc, so it really made everything easy for me outside.
Hey Kyle, I appreciate it, and best of luck next week against Sims Valley, bud.
Thank you.
Got the scoring started with that 8-yard score. What did you see on that play?
I just got broke up a little bit and ran out to the other side and shoot up to my Crabtree over there. He had a middle of the block and just got me in there.
Corey and I were talking. You're pretty athletic. You don't just throw passes or run for them. You also catch them. And tonight, I think you put that athleticism on display several times, especially on defense. What's it like for you to play both ways on offense and defense?
It's very exciting. I like it. It's my first year starting for the linebacker. Just feeling good. I like it.
What's it like to play against a physical team like Green?
I like it. I just love hitting and everything.
How would you describe some of those formations that Green was throwing at you? It was a little confusing.
It was tricky. We had to get everybody over there. But me and my other linebacker, Olsen Hall, we just stayed there and we everybody in there. It was good.
What did you think of the way you played as quarterback and as linebacker today?
I think I did pretty good, but I have to give a shout out to my offensive line. They worked their butt off. D tackles, like Kyle said, they worked their butt off. They got through there about half the time anyway. So.
Hey, thanks, buddy, and best of luck next week in your season finale. Billy, I know you've been wanting to get on the field all season. What's it like to finally be back with your team?
It's different. I finally get to come back and play with my people. It's pretty good.
It's got to be an awesome feeling for you, right?
Yeah.
And you're not only just back out there on the field, but you're scoring touchdowns as well. You had 3 in the first half.
Yeah, I got to thank my line and my quarterback for giving me the ball first, and then the defensive, the wide receivers that had the blocks and everything.
I think it was the second touchdown you scored. You were making people miss out there, throwing off the dance moves. What did you see on that play when the play kind of broke down?
I was just trying to get to the end zone. That's all I could do.
Trying to make the highlight reel, right?
Yeah.
You got the kids up there recording for huddle, so you got to show out for that. Right?
I got to show it off on my next game.
Well, Doug Montavon said that you're the spark plug for this team, and it really showed, I think, tonight. You got everyone hyped in pregame. What's it like for you to just be the leader of the team as a youngster?
I mean, it's different. I've always had that role. Since my dad was my coach and everything. When I had Coach Montavon as a 7th grader, he's always had that the expectation for us to do that. So I have to step up and do it now.
Last game against Sims Valley, what are you hoping for in that game?
I'll hope for another win. Hopefully a shutout, but if we get the win, that's all we got.
Hey, thanks, buddy. As always, good to talk to you.
Thank you.
What did you see on that play when you scored from 39 yards out?
Well, the Steelers were walking good down the field, so it was pretty much wide open. You can't thank the line enough for making that wide open goal and just blocking. That's all it was to it.
And that's a nice play. You came back on the reverse and then made some people miss. You got the job done on defense as well, though. Corey and I were talking up here in the booth from your cornerback spot. You made several tackles. What did you see from Green tonight offensively? They came out with some weird formations.
They came out with a lot of different formations, but we were practicing them all week, and we pretty much knew what they was throwing at us, so we were pretty good defensively.
We gave you a lot of compliments up here. Hard-nosed cornerback. It's not often you see kids from our generation at cornerback that like to hit. How would you describe the way you play on defense?
There's a wide open hit. Take it.
That's a good outlook on things, and you're definitely a physical cornerback, that's for sure. Ask several other kids this. What do you think about the matchup with Sims Valley?
I feel pretty confident about it. The way we played the past 2 weeks, I feel like we're going to do pretty good.
All right, well, thanks, buddy, and best of luck to you there. And last but not least, we've got the head coach, Doug Montavon, up here in the booth. I think 4 different players scored for you guys tonight, so what's that like to have different weapons all across the field?
It's a huge asset to have so many athletes on the field, and the line really stepped up and blocked well for them. Early on, they were getting in the back foot a little bit, but we bumped our splits down to a foot, and that kept the defensive backs out of the backfield, which allowed our athletes to make plays, and they did an excellent job of doing that in space and breaking tackles.
And defensively, you guys pitch a shutout. I mean, what's that like for your kids and your defense?
That's huge for the defense. I mean, we had a lot of kids step up. You were just talking to Timmy. He came up and made a lot of big hits. Once you run to his side, you know not to come back because he doesn't just shoulder tackle. The young kids at the end of the game, we had nothing but JVs in, which Timmy and Billy should be on the JV. They're only sophomores, but the young kids came in, stepped up big for us, and held Green's offense out of the end zone at the end to keep the shutout. And I just think everybody stepped up big tonight. Last week, getting a little bit of momentum going into a big clash with Sims Valley next week on senior night to try to send our seniors out with a bang.
I know you talked about Billy Crabtree leading up to this game. I think it was pretty evident what he can do out there on the field as a leader and as a player. What did you see from him tonight?
Yeah, having Billy step in, he's a vocal leader. He also leads by example. We have several kids that lead by example, but him and Caden Zumbro are vocal guys, and they'll step up and say what needs to be said. Then you got Bruce South, Timmy Emmons, Kyle Leslie, Garrett Rowe. Those guys are leading by example, but it's nice having some people out there that'll step up and make the right comments when they need to be made, get in people's faces when it needs to be done. There's a really good group of young guys that are starting to step up now that we're getting towards the end of the season and showing leadership going into next year for us.
I think you've got a very selfless team. I think that's for sure. A lot of teams don't have people that just take credit for themselves, but the whole team seems to get involved here with you guys. And I think when I was talking with Kyle, he's a senior, and he was looking forward to next year for what the kids can do next year. What's that mean when you've got guys like that in your program?
It's huge having the older guys. They obviously want to have a better season than what they've had this year. But the last few weeks we've talked about you're still going to be a part of the program next year and on, but you're just not going to be on the field. So what you do at the end of this season is going to help us a lot in the future and helping the younger guys step up and get ready for next year, as well as doing the best you can on your last few games is really what we're trying to do here with the program. There's a lot of good talent coming up through the program, and we're just trying to put the program in the best place and having kids that obviously want the ball every play, but understand when they don't get the ball they got to block is what we need to get to, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
Big season finale with Sims Valley. What do you think about that game?
It's going to be a tough one. Sims Valley's got a lot of talent. I know they matched up with Eastern and beat them, and Eastern had a pretty good showing against us, but I think we're a different team now, getting a couple of kids back. Having Billy back gives us another player that they can't key on Timmy or Billy or the Howards. We can kind of hit the field anywhere we want to hit it with Garrett throwing and those guys running. So we're kind of a different animal now than we were 5 weeks ago. But they're a good team, and it's going to be a hard-fought game on Roy Rogers Field next Friday night when we kick our seniors off with the bang on senior night.
Anything else you want to add on the game tonight?
I just appreciate you guys coming and covering it. The kids like hearing their names on the radio and being covered in the newspaper, and I appreciate what you guys are doing for our program and all the programs around the area, especially your show on Facebook and YouTube. They're all pumped about watching it every week.
Hey, thanks so much, Coach. We appreciate your time and for bringing everyone up. Best of luck to you guys against Sims Valley.
Thanks for having me.